Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. So I'm about to do I watched a movie over the weekend called El Camino. It's a spinoff of Breaking Bad, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it and do a little review for it. But before I do that, I got an intro. All right, I'm back. So, went on here and watched El Camino over the weekend. Now, this movie is it's a spinoff, one shot of the show Breaking Bad. This took place right after the show ended. One of the characters ended up surviving the whole deal, and this is kind of like saying what ended up happening to this guy. Now this character is Jesse Pinkman. This was actually a character that's supposed to have been killed off. I was heard he's supposed to have been killed off in season 1, but people liked him so much that they wanted him to come back. So they decided to let him live, and then he's becoming like a big thing. It's played by Aaron Paul. He do a real good job of playing this character because he played like kind of a punk kid when he first starts. He's supposed to be like, out of high school, fresh out of high school, one of them kind of, I don't know what to do with my life. So now he's like selling meth and, he living, I guess he living with his parents. His parents is never there. And he's like just selling meth and stuff. Excuse me, sorry. He's selling meth, and this is kind of how he gets cool with your main character, Walter White, played by Bryan Cranston. Because he's looking to get in the business of selling meth, and he meet up with Jesse Pinkman, because Jesse Pinkman was actually a student in his class. He was kind of like a student, an underachiever in his class, but he knew he sold meth, so that's how their whole relationship started. So at the end of Breaking Bad, the season, everybody died. Jesse Pinkman lived, and he started driving away in this El Camino at the end of the season, and you don't know what happened from there. So this is kind of what happens from there. And I want to say this movie was a good movie, but it felt like an episode. It felt like a longer episode of Breaking Bad. And the name of the episode would have been El Camino or something. Excuse me. And I'm enjoying it, but it's not really feeling like a movie. And it really hinges on the fact that you watched the show. Because if you didn't watch the show, you would not get this movie. As a matter of fact, they give you a whole recap. They give you a whole recap of Breaking Bad at the beginning of the movie. So this is definitely made to be like an episode of Breaking Bad, opposed to its own standalone movie. But it's still good, especially if you like Breaking Bad. It's real good. But it don't work as a movie though. It works as like a 2-3-parter TV, like 2-3-parter episode in Breaking Bad. Just the way it's all set up, because there's only one thing: how is Jesse going to get away, and what he's going to do. So at this point, like I said, everybody's dead, and now he's kind of deciding, like, how the hell am I going to get out of here? And then they had these flashbacks. Now you can see that's Mike. That's supposed to be a flashback of somebody in the show. Mike was a guy he's like a fixer. He worked for, I guess he didn't work for Saul. He just, I guess he did work for Saul, where a situation happened, somebody got killed. You need, Mike come in, he fixed the situation, get rid of the body, clean up the crime scene, whatever he do. And there was that character, so they was kind of talking like, where would you go when this is all over? Like, I go to Alaska. I'm thinking like, not me, but okay, I guess ain't nobody gonna look for you up there. So the show was basically Jesse was trying to find a way to get out and start over, and so it was things like, okay, he knew where some money was at, so he had to try to get it, and the show was kind of running into close calls, the movie, which was actually made a good tension right there. It was like good tensions of, okay, I got to get this money so I can, so I can escape, but there's other people after this money, and that those good tension moments where I'm like, oh shit, things going on. But it was not like a movie, like it was not like the storyline didn't hinge on nothing else but that. Now they had some good flashbacks that was good callbacks to the show and people in the show, but only problem was all the actors look way older. Now it was like 6 years later, and some of the actors don't look that older, but you could tell they visibly do look older. Like, they just look a little different. I thought they did a good job on becoming those characters again, though. Like Badger and his friend Skinny, like that was his two friends. I guess they do meth too, but they was his two friends he always used for helping him sell, and they was making money and whatnot. Those were they came back and they became the guys they were to me. I was hearing people saying they looked too different. They didn't look that different to me. And then they had a flashback with Walter White when he was talking to Walter in the little restaurant, and I thought that was a good touching scene. Like I was hoping they wouldn't have too much of Bryan Cranston in here. I was hoping they didn't have too much of Bryan Cranston in here to just to sell the movie, but they gave him one cameo, and I liked it. It was a flashback of this they talking. How Walter actually in some way looked at Jesse as a son, but he never said it, and he wanted Jesse to actually achieve things, but he was kind of hard on him, same way a father's hard on the son that he want to succeed, but you think that person hates you because they so hard on you, but they hard on you because they know you can take it, and they know once you beat whatever they putting on you and you can beat it, that means you can beat anything else. That's kind of how some people parent, that's how some people help you achieve, and you think, oh, I hate this person, but then once you start achieving things, you start realizing, damn, they was doing this to help me, so I know that was kind of like how Walter was talking to Jesse, more like, you could go to college, you could do whatever you want to do, and he just, because he know that Jesse actually smart, he just an underachiever, So I like that moment, man. I like the little cameo they gave him. So that's all they did with that, But then they had another flashback with Todd, played by Jesse Plemons. His kind of name is kind of similar. Everybody call him Fat Damon because he looks like Matt Damon. He just chubby. And it's funny though. He does look like Matt Damon, but he got chubby. He's fatter than he was when he first started, because they show pictures of him from 6 years ago to pictures of him now, he's a lot chubbier. He looked close the same, he's just a lot chubbier. And it's like, okay, they had a flashback scene where he was with Todd or whatever, which I really like the Todd moments. Todd is a weird character. He's a hard character to pin down, man. I don't understand him because he's like a sociopath, but he's so polite. So, I mean, I guess that's how some can be. Like, you can be, I think, because a lot of sociopaths, they know how to act polite. They know how to act funny, even though they don't have all those emotions. They know how to fake it, and I think he just so used to faking his emotions so much, that's just who he is, and he's just an interesting character, man. But I don't want to spoil all the stuff that happened with Todd, but they showed a flashback that he did with something with Todd, and it kind of lets you understand that character a lot more. It makes you like, this guy is very, very, very dangerous. He's a very dangerous person in a good package, where you'll just think this guy's so polite and nice and kind. He can't hurt a fly, and he will put a bullet in your head, So that was good stuff. Even though he looked pretty much real different from he did from the other seasons, I was cool with it. So it was a good movie, man. And then you saw a little good progression of the character of Jesse. Jesse is doing stuff in this movie that he would not have pulled off earlier, earlier seasons when he was younger. He got a lot more confidence, he's a lot more competent than he was when he was when the show first started. So I like the progression of the character because all the things he went through, and he's got a lot of PTSD because they was real hard on him, man. They put him in a in a little cage underneath underground and had him chained up, and they really tortured him pretty bad in the previous seasons. And he's got a lot of PTSD. He don't go nowhere without that gun. And when he wakes up, he think he don't know where he at. So he's got a lot of PTSD. I really like the fact, like I said, I like the progression of the character because he had to pull off things that he would not have been able to pull off earlier, and then he's a lot more confident about doing the things that he need to get done. So I like that. But like I said, it's just a long episode, and you get to see where this character ends up when it's all said and done. So I really like that, man, and I respect the episode. I mean, I respect the movie. And, it ain't, if you see this without seeing the show, you're not going to really get it. And I don't think anybody who didn't see the show they might enjoy it, but I just feel like they're not going to get it unless they watch the show. This movie is very much dependent on you watching that show. They give you a recap, but it's not enough. You're going to have to watch that show to understand where they're coming from. But it's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. I'm going to give it a rating. I'll give this movie a dope. I give it a dope because it was a good watch. I enjoyed it, but, it was for real just like a Breaking Bad. It was like a couple episodes of the Breaking Bad show. But it was still good, though, man. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for checking out the review. Subscribe to the channel and give me some thumbs up, man. And I'm going to be out of here. Peace.